Здравствуйте. Hello. My name is Andriy Rusyn. When I first come to this country, I didn't speak any English, and I didn't have many friends. But my father put me into American daycare without warning, and I began a journey of education that would take me all the way from my humble beginnings as a little Ukrainian immigrant, all the way to this podium I find myself standing behind today. Chosen by you to say a few words, but I'll just say those in my normal voice. As middle schoolers, I don't think any of us got what we expected when we came to Carrboro. For us, high school was a distant place ruled by people something like Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton, where tough guy football players shove people into lockers and take their lunch money. We really had no idea. In our wild imagination, Carrboro even included its own Starbucks. Ah, the dreams of young suburbanites are so untethered by the realities of life. But if anything changed our perspective, it was getting to really experience high school. And what we didn't realize was that our freshman year would be one of the most unique introductions anyone could have expected. In the mythology of that freshman year, there are three things that really stand out: Jeff Thomas, race wars, and the Haplo. It's just like my grandpappy always used to say, "Посмійтесь, щоб я всіх цих дурнів повторити," which translates into something like, you gotta throw a couple of little fish back before you can learn to catch the big ones. Sometimes our early failures teach us a lot, like how to create a more perfect school environment, one where the lunch line doesn't take 40 minutes and classrooms don't have 30 people in them. Now, despite the recession's vice-like grip on our school board's finances, we built a new wing and we optimized our cafeteria. As our school grew, we grew alongside it, and life since freshman year has been mostly an accelerating blur of wonderful memories. Many of our friends have become completely different people. Some of them probably stopped playing video games, and maybe some of them started. Maybe some got cars, and maybe some even pimped the hell out of those cars with speakers and rims that would make Exhibit himself proud. Ed Lytle, I'm looking at you. Where is it? Maybe some of you had a teacher that changed your perspective on life, or maybe some of you hated every minute of every class. But what it all comes down to is that our 10th and 11th grade experience was characterized by change. Now, while I've got you here, I want to talk about healthcare reform for just a moment. But in all seriousness, when we got to the beginning of senior year, many of us had no idea what was going to happen. We ruffled through old papers, finding obscure bits of information about things like where we first lived. We wrote essays that we somehow hoped would separate us from the thousands of other qualified individuals. And most importantly of all, we realized that we were finally reaching some sort of end. The legendary place known as second semester senior year was finally within our grasp, and just beyond, real life. One thing that many people associate with the last part of senior year is the curse known as senioritis. As the realization dawns on you that no one is going to really look very hard at the grades you haven't already gotten, homework and studying begin to seem a little less important. Standardized tests are also a thing of the past for us, but the skills of bubbling they taught me will stay with me for the rest of my life. I've lived in Chapel Hill since I was 5 years old, and even the cheapness of these thin polyester robes can't change the fact that now is truly a memorable moment. I guess these things do look alright in photos, and I expect that my newsfeed on Facebook is going to say something like 200 people you know changed their profile pictures. Be proud. It's over. You finally won. You are, in fact, members of the graduating class of the highest-ranked local institution of secondary learning. Now, before I leave, I want to bring up one important question that I want you to keep in your heart for the rest of your life. Whenever you feel down, whenever life has you in a pickle, or whenever you just don't know what to do next, ask yourself, do what now?